possible, full stop. If possible, full stop. Okay, so let's start lesson 6-4. Say after me, contraction of wood. Close your book. Contraction of wood.
Of wood.
Contract.
Contract.
The contraction of I would is I'd. We can use contractions for all the persons and say I'd, you'd, he'd, she'd, it'd, we'd, you'd, they'd. Okay, so for example, if I say I would buy a car, I can say I'd buy a car. You would go to a farm, you'd. Okay, so let's go. What's the contraction of I would? What's the contraction of I would? The contraction of I would is I'd. What are the contractions of you would, he would, she would, etc.? What are the contractions of you would, he would, she would, etc.? The contractions of you would, he would, she would, etc. are you'd, he'd, she'd, it'd, we'd, you'd, they'd. Okay, from now on, I want you to always use the contractions when speaking. If you went to the cinema this evening, which film would you see? If you went to the cinema this evening, which film would you see? If I went to the cinema this evening, I'd see Batman.
I'd see
O vento levou.
The Lion King.
The Lion King, good option. If I were you, which language would I speak? If I were you, which language would I speak? If you were me, you'd speak Portuguese. If a plant had no water, would it die? If a plant had no water, would it die? Yes. If a plant had no water, it'd die. Say after me, contraction of wood.
Contraction of wood
With other words.
with other words.
Okay. We can contract wood with almost any word. For example, the book would becomes the booked. Who would becomes who'd, etc. So you can do the contractions with all words. I'd, the booked, okay? So let's try. What's the contraction of book would? What's the contraction of book would? The contraction of book would is booked. Booked. So, lesson would, who would, what would, which would. Lesson would, who would, what would, which would. Lessened, who'd, what'd, which'd. If you were a king, what'd your wife be called? If you were a king, what'd your wife be called? If I were a king, my wife'd be called a queen. If you lost your way in a large city, who'd you ask? If you lost your way in a large city, who'd you ask? If I lost my way in a large city, I'd ask a policeman. If today were Sunday, what did tomorrow be? If today were Sunday, what did tomorrow be? If today were Sunday, tomorrow would be Monday. Say after me, sandwich. Cheese. Yes, sandwich is a food, it's delicious, it's bread with something inside. So we can put cheese. Cheese is the favorite food of the mouse. So we can put ham, we can put tomato, we can put egg, etc. Salad. So when office workers are too busy to leave their desks for lunch, do they often just have a quick sandwich? When office workers are too busy to leave their desks for lunch, do they often just have a quick sandwich? Yes. When office workers are too busy to leave their desks for lunch, they often just have a quick sandwich. What kind of things do we put in sandwiches? We put
meat,
cheese, egg, etc.
etc.
in
in
sandwich.
sandwich.
Say after me, fault, faultless, faulty, fix.
fix.
Okay, fault has two definitions. It can be a defect, okay, or the opposite of quality.
Defeito.
Yes, or the opposite of quality. For example, my biggest fault is that I'm very curious. So it's not a quality to be curious, it's a fault, okay? And faultless is the without fault. For example, if I do a dictation and everything is correct, it's because my dictation is faultless, without mistakes, without faults, okay? Without wrong words. And faulty is an adjective. If my
Falha.
Yes, faulty is an adjective. If my computer is broken, it's faulty. If my car is not working, it's faulty. Okay? And fix is a verb. If my car has a problem, I can fix it. I can repair. Or I can take,
Consertar.
yes, I can take to a place for a mechanic to repair for me, to fix for me. Okay?
Consertar.
Yes. So, what's your biggest fault? What's your biggest fault? My biggest fault is
Yes.
I have no faults.
I don't.
I'm a perfect person.
No. I don't perfect. person.
Nobody is.
Yeah.
But you can't remember your biggest fault now?
No,
You
I
can't
don't remember.
Okay. If your computer was faulty, would you know how to fix the fault? If your computer was faulty, would you know how to fix the fault? Yes? No? Do you know how to repair computers? How to fix? No. If my computer was faulty, I wouldn't know how to fix the fault. Are your dictations usually faultless? Are your dictations usually faultless?
Yes.
With no mistakes? Perfect
Yes.
dictations?
No.
No. My dictations
My dictations
aren't usually faultless. They usually contain mistakes. Few mistakes. If a student makes a mistake in his dictation, is it usually his fault or the teacher's fault? If a student makes a mistake in his dictation, is it usually his fault or the teacher's fault? If a student makes makes a mistake in his dictation, it's usually his fault. Yes, not the teacher's fault. Say after me, okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay. Okay and alright have the same meaning. For example, if you have no problem, I say, it's okay, it's alright. So, what can we say instead of okay? What can we say instead of okay? Instead of okay, we can say alright. Say after me, compare. Comparison. Have something in common. Okay, compare is a verb. I can compare my book with your book. I can compare two things, to places, to people. And comparison is a... What time is it? 9? Comparison? 2 minutes. Okay, comparison is a noun. For example, if I say that my book is thicker than your book, I'm comparing the books. This is a comparison. And to compare things, the things have to have something in common. I cannot compare a book with a table. They are totally different. But I can compare my book with your book. So, can we compare Michelangelo with Napoleon? Can we compare Michelangelo with Napoleon? No, we can't compare Michelangelo with Napoleon. Why not? Because they were two completely different kinds of people. Who who did
did
different
different things
from each other.
other.
What must two people or things have if we want to make a comparison between them? What must two people or things have if we want to make a comparison between them? If we want to make a comparison between two people or things, they must have something in common. Say after me, ice, cool. Yes. So ice is something that we use to cool drinks. We put water in the fridge, we put water in the refrigerator, and the water becomes, we put water in the freezer. Is it ringing? We put water in the freezer and the water becomes ice. And when the water becomes ice, we can use the ice to cool the drinks. Okay? Because sometimes we drink water and the water is warm or the water is hot. So we can use ice to cool the drink. So cool can be an adjective or a verb. I can cool the drink. Okay? So the drink can be colder, cooler. So what do we use ice for? We use ice for putting in drinks to cool them, etc. Say after me, pour. Okay, pour is a verb. For example, let's suppose I have a glass and I have a bottle and I'm pouring water into the glass. This is the verb pour. Okay? To pour. I'm pouring. Yes, it's like this. So what am I doing? You're pouring some water from a bottle into a glass. Say after me, unite. Unite is a verb. We can unite two things, we can unite two people, we can unite two places. So when we unite things, the things are united.
Unido.
Yes, this is united. And unite is a verb. To put together. Yes. Do you think that all the countries of the world will unite one day? Do you think that all the countries of the world will unite one day?
Yes.
I think that all the countries of the world will unite one day. Okay, say after me. Even. Surprising. Okay. The word even can have a similar meaning to also, but we use it when the next piece of information is surprising. For example, surprising is an adverb or adjective. If I say, there is a surprise for you. Oh, there is a surprising thing for you. Okay, oh, today is a surprising day. I didn't know what could happen. Okay, surprising. Even, it's synonym of also, but you use it when you are surprised. For example, there is a person who speaks 5 languages. So the person speaks Portuguese, English, French, Chinese, and even Italian. So the other piece of information is surprising. Or for example, the person behaves like a pig. The person doesn't eat, the person doesn't sleep well, the person doesn't eat healthy food, the person even doesn't take a shower. Even that, okay? Or when they think, for example, English is very simple. Even a child can understand it. It's surprising, okay? So let's try. Give me a sentence with even. Why? Okay, so let's finish.